Are you a picky eater? Do you know someone who is a picky eater? I personally am not, but my sister very much is, or used to be, up until pretty recently. The crazy thing is, she would never try the food that was suggested to her and would instead be so against it her entire life, which is fine and all, but as her older brother, I had to make fun of her for it all the time. It's something so simple as that, fearing a new food, a new cuisine, and trying it for the first time, getting over that fear and forming your own opinion, and you might even like it. What a concept. In the house for a very long time. Never lost sleep, so better like wine. Slow searching, found me online. Hello everyone, and welcome to the Rose Gold Videocast. And today we will be discussing forming your own opinions and why it is important to be doing that, especially in today's world. One thing I know for sure is I should 100% get off Twitter because quite actually all I see these days on there is pure negativity. It has, however, been the muse for today's video, so I do see that as a positive. The thing is, every single user has their own platform and becomes the ultimate keyboard warrior who will stop at nothing to express their most aggressive takes on a subject. This goes both ways, by the way, not just overly against, but overly boosting as well. It's not just about negativity, it is also about overly positive remarks, which once again goes both ways. You get the point. And also, it's not just Twitter, but social media as a whole. Shoot, here I am, even giving my opinions in my videos too. However, the topic I'd like to talk about is forming an opinion or attempting a complete thought before seeing the outcome through. And yeah, every single person is entitled to their own opinion. That is without question. I love having discussions and even hearing other thoughts from people who have different takes than I do. In my videos, I very much encourage all of you to comment and share your thoughts and ideas on what I've talked about in the hopes that we can have a valuable conversation. Even when someone disagrees with me, I still value an interaction. We can all learn something as long as we aren't all dense, and there are some dense people out there. I really do try to hold judgment for media such as television, video games, and movies until I've personally experienced it for myself. The amount of individuals who will refuse to take part in some form of entertainment because of review bombings or even just a single statement from a random person is quite alarming. It's immensely important for all of us to form our own thoughts and opinions and not just hear one thing and decide, yeah, I'm definitely not watching that. I'm definitely not going to partake in this form of entertainment. To further elaborate what I'm kind of discussing here, the Acolyte is currently being released on Disney Plus at the time of recording this video. And as I'm sure most of you have already laid witness to, it's a cutthroat hate fest out there for this show right now. Has the violence towards this show been warranted? For the overall quality of the show, in my own formed opinion, no. I do have my own problems with the show, don't get me wrong. It's definitely not a perfect show from what I've seen so far, so definitely take what I'm saying with a grain of salt. But I am enjoying the show. I'm enjoying what I'm seeing right now. Will I let the fire and the vacuum of space ruin the show for me? No. The short answer is no. Yeah, it might look a little wonky, and I think it's because we're probably used to just ships being on fire moving through space, so it looks not as standstill, which the more you talk about it like that, none of it makes sense in the first place. And I'm already over explaining this thing that doesn't make sense at all altogether. Guys, I'm not letting this ruin the show for me personally. I'm going to let larger plot points get me upset before something like a fire does. That's all I'm gonna say. I can't find the tweet at this very moment, but someone commented on how Master Andor died to a butter knife in the first episode, while Sabine survived a lightsaber stab, which was then responded to with a few other comments saying how, oh, Disney has no clue how lightsabers work once again. Won't be watching. Okay, you got me on that one. Both with the Kenobi series and Ahsoka, I get it. Lightsabers, I do wish they were more consistent throughout the series as a whole. I understand that complaint. You got me there. But that's not something to warrant you to not watch altogether. The first half of the comment, Disney has no clue how lightsabers work. Fine. Dude, that's awesome. Like, I kind of agree with you on that. Like, it hasn't been consistent. It's kind of messy. But you're not gonna watch because of that? Come on. Like, if that's the reason you don't want to watch, like, that's just such a weak excuse not to watch it. And you haven't even watched it in the first place. Not to mention that this death is completely disconnected from a whole other television series on Disney Plus. Yes, they are in the same universe, but it's not even like, oh, this happened in Ahsoka, the same series as Ahsoka earlier. Like, no, this is an entirely different show, is what I'm saying. You know what I mean? You're taking what other people have already interpreted and choosing to not potentially enjoy something all because of a single comment. It's just, you gotta form your own opinions, dog. Star Wars and actually Disney in general these days is a goldmine for this topic, so we're gonna continue down this road a little bit longer. Andor is a perfect example for me to actually speak on from a personal experience. Rogue One itself was a pleasant surprise for me, and it's up there as one of my favorite Star Wars movies. And leaving the theater, of course, I thought naturally, you know who I want to see more of? That Cassian guy. I would love to see more of that Cassian Andor dude. And if I'm truly being honest, most of the characters in Rogue One are pretty unseasoned. So initially I was super against a whole show dedicated to this dude who I barely remembered. I did think the world building would benefit at least, and his character could really use that. It took me a second to begin watching Andor, but let me tell you, this shit slaps so fucking hard. I'm actually begging you at this point, if you have not seen Andor, then please go watch it and just give it the viewship and praise it deserves. I'm here to spread this positivity and motivation because others have dismantled this establishment through social media. So many were turned off by the idea of this series because of just random complaints by random people or poor remarks. Form your own opinions and check out Andor. If you don't like it for your own reasons after you viewed it, then that's wonderful. I'm just happy you checked it out and you've beaten the system. Be better than the system. Check it out for yourself. Form your own thoughts. I've been a bit too positive, so now it's my time to take Disney Star Wars down a notch. I did not like The Last Jedi. I don't hate it, but man, it is definitely my least favorite Star Wars to watch. And I really want to flex my credibility here. I have seen it multiple times. I have the credentials. Come at me. In this instance, I was unaffected by outside sources prior to viewing it because I stayed away from all reviews and all social medias at all costs. I really wanted to enjoy this film without any outside, force, outside pressure. I wanted to see it raw. I enjoyed The Force Awakens a good bit and I was looking forward to where the story was heading. I felt okay after the first viewing and actually went a second time in theaters to a lesser feeling towards it, but I distinctly remember the first day it came to streaming, turning it on and turning it off before the opening battle even finished, which is wild for me. That does not happen. I don't do that with movies, especially movies where I can turn my brain off and just enjoy the fun action adventure. I knew the Canto Bight plot was just coming up. I'm gonna be real with you guys. I truly can't be less invested in that thing. I don't like Leia surviving space and using the Force to pull herself back in. It looks so goofy and off. I don't like the humor in a lot of the dialogue. And hey, it's all good if you do enjoy these things though. I just don't. I value our ability to enjoy all forms of media and to discuss maturely. And that's the beauty of all of this though. I have seen the film, I can share my opinion on it. I have close friends who actually enjoy The Last Jedi and we can have good friendly banter about the movie. But the good thing is, they've seen it. They have their own formed thoughts and reasons about why they enjoy the movie and I respect it. And they similarly respect my opinions. And I love that. And I think we need more of that. We need more own well thought out opinions about things. I would love to comment about Marvel content as of lately, but really, I haven't been keeping up. I've been a bad Marvel fan these days. I used to be a hefty fan, devouring all the content, but yeah, now it's pretty much nothing. I don't blame reviews and other opinions for this either. I just think it's overall fatigue. I will say this though, because it's a spicy take, I think, on my part. Crazy wild, maybe probable hot take. I don't think No Way Home is very good. It took me forever to see this one for some strange reason. On the nose again there. Really unsure why, but when I did, I I loved seeing all three Spider-Men together. I loved seeing most of the old villains interacting and just the actors chewing these scenes up. But yeah, the first half or even 2/3 just didn't feel too special to me. Kind of exhausting. I heard nothing but massive praise, which maybe it was aimed at the cameos and the three Spider-Men mostly, to be fair. But a lot of folks hyped this thing up as the best MCU movie, which had me thinking, yeah? Yeah? And my takeaway from this lesson was to not let others influence my opinions first. My hopes were poisoned and my hopes were impossibly high. It's definitely not a bad movie at all. It just fell more flat than what I would definitely like it to have. If I could just have a movie of Toby, Andrew, and Tom all together the entire time just talking, then I'd be perfectly content. Those moments were perfect for me, and that's literally all that I would need. But once again, I saw the movie and I've formed my own opinions about it. If I hadn't had seen the movie, then I'd just be basing my thoughts and mental reviews solely off of other people's comments and YouTube videos. And where would that bring me? I would think this movie would be like incredible, which, don't get me wrong, the amazing parts about No Way Home are amazing. But come on, the parts that you're gonna see on YouTube are gonna be mostly just the clips of like the really good fight scenes and the awesome cameo scenes. You're not gonna see the extra schlop in the middle. And maybe you love the schlop, and that's your opinion, and you are entitled to it, and I love that about you. Mwah. I think I talked a lot more about some of these movies and TV shows, a little longer than what I had wanted to. But that's okay. It's fine, right? Right? Point is, I'm fed up and I'm annoyed. People are just dense, you know? I want people to consume media, and honestly, not just purely for the enjoyment factor. Watch it with a fresh brain. Go into it with no expectations. Try to do it without looking up reviews for it first or hearing anything about it. It's okay to not like a project. Criticism is still good. I like when people critique even my videos. It inspires me to work harder on my content. If you think or find yourself listening to other people's opinions more so than actually watching some entertainment that you genuinely think that you could be interested in, check it out first. Or even if you see something bad about the show, check it out. Once again, The Acolyte. I heard nothing but negativity for the first 3 episodes. Checked out the first episode. I've enjoyed it so far. Please take my advice and just form your own thoughts. Once again, it's okay if you don't like it. It's okay if you don't agree with the show. It is okay if you don't agree with everybody. That's how discussions are made. That's how conversations get started. As always, please leave a like down below if you enjoyed today's video, and consider subscribing if you enjoyed my content as a whole. And most definitely leave a comment below too. Whatever you want to say. If you really want to be mean to me and don't agree with me for literally whatever reason, sure, let me know down in the comments. Go for it. All right, whatever. I will see y'all in the next video. Goodbye.